Today's a great day. We're here in the neighborhood just to the north of Valley High School, and we had this neighborhood that didn't have clean drinking water. Believe it or not, you had some children that felt they couldn't brush their teeth, they couldn't take a shower, they were missing school. They were getting warnings from public health regarding how bad the water was, especially for pregnant mothers. That we finally, with working with the Assembly and the help of Speaker Perez and the signature from the governor's office, we're able, through the budget process, get some money to hook up this neighborhood to the city's water system.
You know, back in the old days, public works departments were called departments of civil works because civil engineers were the ones that worked there. And even the term civil engineering comes from civilization, builders of civilization. We lose that in the developed world, but the bottom line is that potable water, streets, sewers, all these things at one point were what determined whether we were a civilized society or not. And this is where the state, through Assemblyman Solorio and Speaker, came into play. They helped secure funds and appropriate funds for these projects, for this one here, and I believe one in the city of Maywood. So we are very, very happy. This is an example of state government mattering at the local level and directly impacting the lives of citizens here in California.
Now I think that we're here and we're going to, in the very near future, have clean water. It is going to be so beautiful. And we're going to say, well, why didn't it happen earlier? Well, it didn't happen earlier because we didn't all come together around this issue and understand it. But as we did understand it, and we all started doing our part, you know, the Sacramento played a very, very big role, and in particular, Assemblymember Jose Solorio, because in the middle, yes, please. Because in the middle of all this turmoil in Sacramento, he was able to introduce a bill and say, you know, this has to rise above all the background noise and all the other things that are happening, and we have to address this issue. And he found money through a bond that enabled us to do so. Not only that, he introduced a bill that basically says if this happens anywhere else in the state, we're going to take it with the same importance and make sure that that it gets addressed.
For our kids, they was not allowed to play in the garden or in the backyard because the water wasn't clean enough, had bacteria, had nitrous, it has all kind of different bad things in the water, including oil, sand, all kind of different things. So in the name of the community, I just want to thank you, all of you, that has something to do with this project.
Because of the partnership between the state and the city had done a lot of early work in terms of the planning for this. So once we got assurance of the money, the city was ready to go, the neighborhood, they did their part, and now we're in the construction process, and it's a great thing.
This is an exceptional service award. And this is the first one we presented these, Jose, because this is exceptional service that you've conducted here. And it's presented to you, Assemblyman Jose Solorio. And it's in grateful appreciation for your outstanding service and dedication here in your community, for your efforts in making safe drinking water a priority and available to all residents of Valley Adams Neighborhood Association here in the city of Santa Ana. And I present this to you this December 15th, 2012. Thank you for your work, Jose.
Before being in the assembly, I was on the city council, and I didn't know that we had this situation here in this area. And as the mayor said, we found out about the problem, and we all came together. You know, it started with a board that was very willing to, after a change in leadership on the board, was willing to think about hooking up to the water system. They went to the city. The city opened its arms and said, yeah, let's plan on this, let's work on this. And then they realized, like everybody else, there's no money to do a project like this. Even though the need is there, there's no money. So that's when they approached me. And despite the problems in Sacramento with its budget, I worked long and hard to find money that wasn't general fund money, that was water money from prior bonds that we all voted for, you know, as taxpayers. And I said, why can't we bring that type of bond money here to Santa Ana? And we were able to do a bill to also prevent this type of situation from happening anywhere else in the state, because everybody deserves access to clean drinking water. You know, one of the most basic needs that we have as human is water. And when I learned through this process that there were little kids that weren't brushing their teeth or taking baths because the water was so bad, that was not a good thing. Or there were these warnings, you know, given to each home here, and there's about 100 homes, and they were notified that the water isn't only bad, but if you're a pregnant mother, you know, you may lose your child if you drink that water. Well, that's not what we want here in Santa Ana. That's not what we want here in Orange County or California. So again, I worked hard. We also had a very strong partnership with Speaker John Perez, because there's a neighborhood not too far from here in the city of Maywood where they have similar drinking waters. And we said, you know, if there are responsible, strong cities that are willing to take the responsibility of allowing the hookups to the city, that we should allow that and we should fund that.